Hey everyone, Jesse Pekarik here, and today is a fantastic day. I get to interview one of the legends in title and escrow here at Equity Title, someone with over 20 years of escrow experience, branch manager, escrow officer extraordinaire. Let's go find out and see who this person is. Let's go. Hello everyone, Jesse Pekarik here with HomeSmart. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing someone who is a legend in the title and escrow industry with over 20 years of experience. Branch manager, escrow officer extraordinaire here at Equity Title at the branch located off of Raintree and 101. Someone who needs no introduction, but I will anyway. Someone who I truly enjoy and have the pleasure of working with.
Thank you.
Miss Andrea Kahan.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me.
So Andrea, let's get right down to it.
Okay.
So you are a branch manager / escrow officer at a title company. That to me sounds like a very important, very, interesting job. What exactly do you do?
Okay. So basically, I close real estate transactions, refinances, vacant land, commercial deals, residential resale, you name it, we close it. So basically, we interpret the law of the contract, not interpret it, but we make sure that the parties are following the law of the contract so that everybody can achieve a successful close of escrow and all parties walk away hopefully happy.
Close of escrow. I hear that said over and over, and obviously I've, in this business 15 years, but for the layperson, what does that mean, close of escrow?
Close of escrow is when all funds are deposited into the escrow account, and we also have, if it's a lender deal, then we have the authorization from the lender to use their funds. If it's a cash deal, we've got authorization from the buyer to use their funds. We release the file to record with the county. Once it's recorded with the county, we call both agents and we let them know it's a done deal. Release the keys.
Keys.
Keys and payday.
Yes,
Keys and payday.
our favorite day.
Yes.
So, for anyone who is interested in this kind of career, or maybe just an agent, someone who wants to learn more about the industry, someone who wants some more insight about what exactly you do, can you walk us through what your typical day is like? I know there's probably no typical day, but on average, what is your day like?
Hectic, busy, crazy, chaotic. Typical day usually consists of coming in, checking emails, checking voicemails, returning phone calls, reviewing the files that I have going that day, preparing documents for the files that are signing that day. Making sure that I'm apprising all the parties involved in the transaction as to what the next steps are in the process. So it's a lot of communication. It's very communication intense.
Wow. Yeah, because you've got what you just said there was a mouthful of all the different parties for one transaction, and I can't imagine how many files you have going on simultaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got buyers, you've got sellers, you've got agents, you've got lenders,
Yep.
well, another agent. Maybe you have assistants, maybe you got transaction coordinators, you've got
maybe a mortgage broker,
maybe a broker. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, it does sound like you're constantly juggling a lot.
Yes.
What exactly got you into this career in the first place? I mean, I don't know many people as a 5-year-old. I know a lot of kids, but I don't hear a lot of kids telling me like, wow, I want to grow up and be an escrow officer or a branch manager.
That.
Like what?
No.
What got you into this career?
First of all, nobody ends up here purposefully. Sorry, it's the truth. So how I ended up in title and escrow is originally my grandmother was a realtor, my great uncle was a realtor, and my dad, before he passed, was looking at getting involved in real estate. My first job when I moved to Arizona was working for a large brokerage that had a ton of agents. And those agents used to come up to me and say, Andrea, you shouldn't be doing this. You know, not that there's anything wrong with being receptionist at a real estate company, but you would be so good at escrow. You should move into that. So I eventually heeded their advice and I went to work for a title company in Scottsdale, and the rest is history.
Wow, what is it, 27 years now?
27 years
Wow.
now. Yeah, long time.
That's a long time in any career, much less real estate. It can be,
Yeah,
it can
or
be a little,
title.
it can be a little grueling. You know, it's funny because it's funny, but it's not funny. But you know, it's my understanding that you know, people don't need title insurance though when they buy a property if they're not getting a loan. So, for example, if my question to you is like, I want to buy my neighbor's house, and hypothetically, but let's say I have the cash and I just want to give them a check for $300,000. Say I want to buy your house.
Sure.
Title insurance, that seems like a lot of money. Do I really need it? Well, I guess I'm not required to have it by law. So why? Can you give me an example or a situation that can really provide some insight to the consumers, to the buyers, to the sellers, like why it's so important to have title insurance?
Yeah.
Like what is it?
So title insurance, first of all, your home is probably the largest investment any of us are going to make in our lifetime. So who wouldn't want to make sure that that's protected? And when I say protected, what if, Jesse, yes, you say, Andrea, I'm going to buy your house for $300,000 and I end up having a federal tax lien against me. You weren't aware of that. You didn't want title insurance, so we didn't go through a title company. So now you've just purchased a property from me with my federal tax lien against it. That's, let's say, $150,000 worth of a federal tax lien.
Wow.
It's attached to the property that you just bought.
So how do I get rid of that? It's not my tax lien. Why am I being penalized?
Well, because you didn't get title insurance like you should have, and had a search against the property to see if there was anything negatively clouding the title to your property. It's really, really important. You would be surprised. There's tax liens, there's judgments, anybody can file a lien against the property. A neighbor could walk across your property, fall into a hole, and file a lien for medical expenses and bills against your property. So, or let's say I'm not paying my property taxes, and so therefore the county is getting ready to force a foreclosure on the property because it's been years and years and years and years, and nobody has stepped in to purchase that tax bill to have me pay them at a future date. So there's just so many different pitfalls that you can find yourself involved in.
Can you think of one specific example that has happened that, I mean, maybe a seller sold a property to two different people and then left the country? I mean, is that possible?
That is possible. It's absolutely possible. Have I personally had that happen? I have not. Have I heard of it happening? Yes. I have also had parties going to sell to a family member wherein that family member had an ex-spouse who had a judgment for a car, an auto loan that was never paid for, and there was a default judgment levied against them by the courts that was never paid. And so now, after mom has passed away, beneficiary deed takes place, and now wham, brother has that default judgment against him. So none of the brothers could sell until that brother took care of that default judgment and paid that in full.
Wow.
Yeah. That one took us about a year and a half to close.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've got plenty more stories to explain the value of title insurance.
A lot.
27 years in any industry is a long time. I mean, that's a success right there, to much less real estate. But what would you consider your secret to success? How you've not only just survived in this business for this long, but to survive, but also to be at such a high level where you're respected, admired, and obviously, as we'll talk more later, I love working with you. But what is your key to success?
Great question. So I attribute my success to my mentors before. And I have had wonderful mentors who taught me a lot. And I have had horrible mentors who also taught me a lot. And so I have gleaned information from both sides of that fence in order to kind of move forward in my life and in my career in the best way that I felt would suit my customers and my clients. So listening to them, talking to you, asking you questions. What do you like? What kind of communication would you like, etc. Just listening to people and hearing what's important to them and then following through on that and actually caring, having compassion for the transaction. That this is a high emotional time for many people, whether that emotion is excitement or, in the case of a widower, even sadness or even anxiety and nerves. It all takes a certain finesse that I like to bring to the table and just make the transaction as seamless as possible.
I've been doing this for 15 years and I just went through a refinance myself, and that was stressful for me, and I do this for a living. It's like, but it was a good reminder for me to know what that feels like to the customers.
Yeah.
And, I will say, full disclosure, I met Andrea almost 10 years ago when I purchased my last house. And the instant I met her, it was, we were purchasing through an investment company, Gorilla Capital. I won't forget. Great company. It was a great transaction, but I did not really have the flexibility to choose a title company to work with. And I was working with Andrea. And I will say that, from my perspective, your success really stemmed from the instant energy I felt from you right away. I could feel that you cared. Yes. I could feel that you listened. Just exactly what you said. You listen to the customer, what they need. Sometimes it's just an investment purchase, and it's not a lot of emotions. Sometimes it's a first-time home,
right?
Or the examples that you gave. But you take time, and it shows that you really, truly care when you listen as you do, when you're as empathetic as you are, and you do it. You're authentic about it, and it shows. My clients, when they leave your signing, and I've been through plenty of signings over 15 years, there's a different feeling that they have, and they come to me, and I'm usually at all my signings whenever I can.
Yes.
But there's a different feeling when you're being rushed through by a notary and you're a number versus when they leave your signings and you feel like, wow, and then they're going to show up and see you at a charity event at my house or something. Like, there's a true connection there. So right. I think it's fantastic. I see it every single time. That being said, one of the other reasons why I feel that I think you're so fantastic and successful is you really want to see your agents be successful.
Yes.
And you get behind them. You get behind me with all my nonprofit organizations, from Your Someday Is Today and Christmas in July to Happy Hooves. You're buying tables. You're providing donations. You're in it. And, there's something special about that when you are shoulder to shoulder, walking my donkeys on a parade, more than one parade, jitterbug, and you're at my events, you're showing up, you're supporting, there's that community feel that, you're part of it. And I understand that, and that's just for my stuff, for my nonprofit. I understand that you're also you're supportive of many other charities, nonprofits. I want to hear more about what those things are to you and what they do for you.
Gotcha. So really my heart is all about animals. So I'm, that's why we're kind of simpatico, is, you started off with the Christmas in July, the your day is
Your someday is today.
Yeah, your someday is today.
I know, I stumble on that too.
Yeah.
And that's my charity for 10 years.
Yeah. So, and that appealed to my heart because that was working with children who were underprivileged and just going on the shopping trips with them and hearing their plight and hearing them say, oh my gosh, my mom would never spend this amount of money, and they're walking out with bags of clothes. And I don't mean
That's
like
so awesome.
just novelty item clothes. I'm talking about necessities, underwear, socks, coats, shoes. Yes, all of it. So things like that really touched my heart. Of course, animals. Now we've got Happy Hooves. I love being a part of that. Networking at risk. Dogs, cats.
I see you sharing a lot of stuff on Facebook, trying to find homes, not just for chows, but for everything. You're like all over the place. I love it.
Because I love them.
I
I
can
would
see
save
that.
them all if I could. I would have a sanctuary.
Well, in the future.
Yes.
We're working on that.
We'll talk about it. We'll
Yes,
talk.
yes.
We'll talk. But yeah, so that's really, those are the things that really just kind of tug at my heartstrings and make me want to, try and make a little bit of, a drop of a pebble in a very large ocean, just to do what I can, where I can, when I can.
Well, and to be able to see you so much, obviously helping and supporting my charities, but to be able to see you and see the other side of you, I mean, which is not much different, to be honest with you. There's Andrea and escrow and title when I come here to your branch to a signing, and there's Andrea who just comes to my house because I got Snickers, a new horse, and you want to meet him, and we're having carrots and coffee on our courtyard, and it's that same person, and I think that's so incredible that you can just be yourself and show people this is the Andrea you're going to be working with. This is Andrea is going to be your friend. This Andrea is going to support what you're going to do and to help you grow your business. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You make it easy.
Well, thank you. So it sounds like between being a branch manager at a title company and supporting all these charities, mine and many others, it doesn't sound like you probably have a ton of free time on your hands, but I'm curious, when you do, what does Andrea enjoy doing?
I enjoy being with my babies, 2 dogs, 2 cats.
Ming, Lulu,
Abby, and Yuki.
Abby and Yuki. I always forget Abby.
They're all rescues except for Yuki. But yeah, so being at home, being with them, watching cooking shows. I'm constantly watching cooking shows. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to have people over, my family and that, and make a little brunch for them, and do something kind of special and fun. But other than that, I'm really kind of a homebody. I'll watch Netflix all day long. Just be in my little bubble. It's a lot of fun in my bubble.
Kind of like just a decompress.
Yes.
Relax, pet your cats, pet your dogs, go for a walk, and
get away from the chaos.
It's like you're Zen.
Yes, that is my Zen.
You're Buddha.
I recharge and I come back and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, Andrea, I think that wraps it up. So look, Jesse Pekarik here with HomeSmart. I have been working as frequently as I can with this amazing woman, not only an incredible escrow officer, professional, responsive, timely, she cares, she listens, and it's authentic. It's the real deal. So I encourage you to consider using Andrea Kahan at Equity Title here at the Raintree Ranch in 101. I promise you will receive, you and your clients will receive a level of service that will be unforgettable, and you won't regret it. So, Andrea, absolutely, from the heart, and that's sincerity. So, if agents, consumers want to reach you, how can they find you? How can they contact you?
Okay, so you can call me at 480-368-5458. You can email me at andreak@eta-az.com. Hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. Any questions you have, whether it be about real estate, life, whatnot, give me a call. Shoot me a text. Call me.
All right. Call her. All right. Jesse Pekarik here. Final thoughts, guys. Remember, we're not promised tomorrow, so make today great. All right. Signing off. Take care. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.